Hello everybody and welcome to Warlords of Sigrdrifa episode 9 anime review. We took a week off last week because I guess they didn't have the episode ready in time. Yeah, I kind of get why. There was a very... this show in general has been very overly well animated, I would say. Like, surprisingly well animated. And, there was a big old fight in the latter half of this week's episode. Is probably the reason why they took a break. I think that's a fair call to make, even if I have no evidence to support. Yeah, this episode itself sort of not wrapped things up, but got things ready for the final battle, so to speak. Well, not quite. We still need to know exactly what's going on with Odin. We've got some ideas, but there's probably more to come too. But anyway, let's get into the episode, see how everything played out and went down, and do this thing. So if you remember at the end of last week's episode, everything started kicking off in all corners of the, with everyone that we know. So the alarm's going off, right? That causes Sonica. Remember Sonica? She runs to her plane. She's like, okay, I gotta go help the people. But however, she collapses because she's all scared of flying now after, she got shot down last time and Amatsuka died and all that. She can't fly anymore. All the dudes, these dudes show up. I don't know if they're promoted to dude bros yet, but they're at least dudes. They show up and like, don't worry, we'll handle it. And they all take off and she's like, guys, you're going to die. And then she starts crying. They're like, guys, we're going to go to hell. We made her cry. But then they're all like, let's kick some ass. And they're like, yeah. And they go fly off to kick some ass. Yeah. Meanwhile, Miko, remember her? She is in the gear tower pillar time clock thing. I don't know exactly what to call it. She's with the dude bros. They are the actual dude bros. So they're in there fighting too. Things not looking good for them, but they'll do their damnedest to win, basically. Then we head to Team Claudia, who are in the weird mural room, I guess Asgard temple, not exactly sure what it is, fighting the ancient robot. Claudia ends up saving the dude because she brought the katana because she is smart. And so she does some cool sword fighting. It starts glowing for some reason. Don't know why, they don't say why it glows. Presumably because she's got main character powers, I would assume. More robots chasing down a hallway. Azu kept on getting distracted thinking about the mural, and it's like, girl, we're literally in a life or death situation here. You can think about your nerd thing once we're safe. So Claudia is defending. They're first aiding some dude because one of the dude gets cut up a little bit or shot. I forget exactly what, but he's in trouble. So he's like, okay, Claudia's defending them, but then the first aid's not working. So the dude is like, guys, you get out of here. I'm gonna stay behind and defend the last stand type deal while you guys get away and everything. And yeah, they do. Them four leave. The two dudes plus Azu and Claudia, they leave. The dude fights down. I think it's like 3 or 4 robot guardian things. And then yeah, he explodes himself. And then Claudia has the moment where she's like, she almost looks back, but then she's like, no, we got to keep going. And then they do. Slaps the crap out of Azu and is like, get a grip, stop being distracted, or you're going to get everyone killed. And it's like, Azu, I'd listen to her, right? I'd listen to her, she's serious. But then she brings it back, she's like, the things could save the world, so you need to stay alive, basically. And then she's like, alright, let's get going, essentially. Sonica goes to see the pregnant woman. Oh yeah, that's another thing, remember that woman was having her baby. Pillars are after the baby because apparently they prioritize the younger people, so they think they're going to go after the baby because you can't get much younger than a baby, like a very just born baby. So it seems like all the people are going to leave the baby behind so to buy themselves time to escape, which is like, geez, that's a bit horrifying. But no, actually, these people are good people and they're actually going to help give birth and then all escape together. And Sonica is like, okay, that's nice. And then she starts freaking out, the Sonica, and then she's like, sorry, can't do anything, and she's going through the things people said about her, and she's like, that's not true, I'm bad, I'm useless, and all that. Remembers about the charm that Amatsuka gave her, so she opens the charm expecting some, motivational speech, but what does it say? It says, don't be a baby, backer. So, and then that causes her to laugh a lot, and she's like, okay, that's what I needed, I'm alright now, and it's like, okay, You're up, Sonica, and that is, she is. The other two girls, the ones that are like her fangirls, are like, you're so good, Sonica. They're arguing about who's going to get in the plane because one of them's injured but wants to fly. Meanwhile, the other one is like, hey, you're injured, don't be an idiot. Sonica shows up in her gear. That's the other thing, the other girl wasn't even in her gear. If she wanted to fly, you could at least get dressed for it. Sonica shows up and is like, I'm You two back down. I'm gonna do this, okay? I'm ready. We then jump back to Miko, who has just ran out of ammo, which is less than ideal. I guess regular ammo, because she shot some hero cannons a bit later on. The Dude Bros save her, but actually no, it wasn't the Dude Bros. Who was it? It was our fierce dragon empress. I think it was a phoenix icon that came up. Sonica shows up. I don't know how she got inside the gear machine. Presumably there was an opening somewhere that she got in. The gears are the key, apparently. I'm going to quick go over what happens. So the gears, I guess, they destroy the Verdrand, or they injure it, and then the gears rewind the time of the Verdrand before it got injured. So it's sort of like time travel, not time travel, but like reverting of time. I think that makes sense. So Sonica and Miko zip through everything and destroy the gears, they destroy the Verdrand, so it can't regenerate basically, and that they do. They win. It's a big old tree. Haven't gone too deep in this, but this part was like super well animated. Like it was, like this show is, despite how relatively small it is, like not a lot of people are watching it, and even less people are enjoying it, it turns out. But it's like super well animated. Like the plane fights and everything, you could say but CG, but it's good CG, so who's going to complain? I certainly will not. They did it though. They won. With really well animated stuff, they won. They secured Tateyama. They won. They reclaimed the base. Humanity's counterattack is now. On that day, humanity was reminded. I'm so excited. Team Claudia around the same time also makes it back through the pillar. The robot tries to drag Claudia back in through the gate, though not the pillar, the gate. But Azu grabs her and is like, nah, and then says, what does she say? She's like, she belongs with Tateyama now. And then the robot just sort of lets go. He's like, all right then, bye. You know, it sort of listens to her. It's like, it kind of knows. I've got a feeling she can sort of order them, maybe. Although they were attacking her, so maybe not. Maybe I'm just seeing wrong, but it definitely just looked like it let go, like, on its own. It didn't look like it got forced off or anything. The four of them reunite afterwards. The baby was born okay. Happy endings all around. There's a bunch of crying going on from the girls, Azu and Sonica specifically. And then she's like, Claudia just thinks that, yeah, lives are lost and lives are born. And it's like, damn, that hit. Like, Battlefield, lives are lost. Sometimes lives are born. I wouldn't call this a normal situation. I don't think on most battlefields there's, you know, babies being born. I could be wrong. I've never been to a battlefield. What do I know? But yeah, then they look at the mural, or the data, you know, that Azu got on the mural, and see Odin and Thor, and then it ends with Ragnarok. So, Norse mythology, I guess, existed. Maybe not on Earth, but it existed, and Ragnarok's already happened and like wiped out everything. So I guess the pillars are like memories of Ragnarok, or of the Norse mythology, because Ragnarok's already happened. Like, I don't really get it. Odin, however, refuses to acknowledge that Ragnarok's happened. He says, we are still here. So maybe they were supposed to be wiped out, but because the pillars and, you know, it's got Thor in it, and he's still there, maybe they weren't wiped out for some reason. They just moved. Maybe Asgard got wiped out, but they moved to Earth. And now Ragnarok 2 is going to happen on Earth. Maybe. I don't exactly know. I'm just spitballing, throwing some ideas around. I really have no idea. But that was where we ended the episode. I do think we're going to have a talk with Odin at some point. Odin, by the way, was alive. He was in the mural room looking at it. So there's that. Presumably at some point he's going to reappear in front of the good guys. As the good guys try and re-destroy the pillar again, the Fuji pillar. Although I don't think they're in any kind of state to do that at the moment without some severe plot power, we'll go with. A severe power-up. But that's in the future. We'll have to see what happens there. For right now, though, what was my favourite part of this week's episode? Let's have a look. So my favourite part is, of course, that really good animated Tower Gear fight thing. Like, it was just really good. It was almost too really good. The one thing I will say, God, could they turn the guns down a little bit? Like, the guns were really loud for some reason. Had to turn my TV down when I was watching. It was a little bit like, alright, it was cool, but, you know, just lower the volume slightly. You're piercing my ears. But that's not take away from how cool the fight was. It was very good. It's kind of disappointing I don't see many people talking about it, but hey, I think it's really good. You could say, as I said, it's CG, but when it's CG, it's good CG. So I cannot complain, and I shall not complain. I really liked it. Anyway, though, we'll have to see what happens next. I don't really know where the plot's going. Maybe we can explore the whole Ragnarok thing has already happened. Maybe Odin needs to explain what happened in the past. So we we know exactly what happened. Because at the moment I'm spitballing ideas, but it would be nice to know for sure. Anyway though, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.